All right, so today I'll be working on this 99 Jeep Grand Cherokee. It's a four-wheel drive with a V8, and we will be investigating the ECT sensor, the engine coolant temperature sensor, and the IAT sensor, which is the intake air temperature sensor. All right, I've gone ahead and pulled up all data for the Jeep, and you can see down here the engine coolant temperature sensor is in the component index, and it's located on the thermostat housing in the rear of the generator. All right, so the ECT for this Jeep is located under this air intake housing behind the alternator. You can see it's right here, this one. All right, so the IAT sensor on this Jeep is located back here on the intake manifold. It's two wires. You can see the clip is really screwed up. So the IAT sensor is right here, as I mentioned earlier. I'll just go ahead and just unplug that, and you can see there. Oh, pretty much 5 volts. And then I will go, I think there actually might be one more for that. No. And then I will plug it back in, and you can see it goes back down to 3.83 volts. All right, I have went ahead and back probed my engine coolant temperature sensor. It is right here. It's hard to see, I back probed it. It's a little sketchy, but nothing's touching nothing. And we can see we have 2.24 volts, which is damn near, 2.1, close enough. We'll go ahead and start up the vehicle, and we should see the voltage drop as the coolant increases. As you can see, we have 2.18 volts, and it's slowly dropping, and that's because the coolant temperature is increasing. So as the temperature increases, the voltage will decrease. One thing to notice is that, as you can see, the coolant's already at 140 degrees. If this was a cold car, the coolant would be at like 75, 80 degrees, and that voltage would be just a little bit higher, probably a little bit closer to that 4 volts. All right, so I went ahead and back probed the throttle position sensor. I back probed you can't see, but it's a red with red stripe wire, and that is the signal wire. And then the one on the end, the black with a blue stripe, that is the ground wire. So I back probed those to my voltmeter, hooked it up to DC voltage, and then I got the throttle position. Here, let me click on something else. Got the throttle position sensor percentage of how much is opened right here. And since this is a cable throttle, as I start to perform a sweep, let's see, put on here, I start to open it up, you can see here it's increasing, and as you can see here, the voltage is increasing as I am lifting it too. All the way to, let's see, when it says we are at our max, 100%. And 3.953, so right around like 4 volts, which makes sense because you don't want to get close to your 5 volt reference. So that's pretty good. And I'll go ahead and snap that back. Let's see, back to 0, back to that 0.6 volts.